Hello, this is DaniSans. Welcome back, guys. And this is a storytime chat, of course. And thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a continuation of the third storytime chats where I talked about my fears and my close encounter with death as a young child. And if you haven't seen that, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Go back and watch those. There'll be a link in the description for the playlist for all the storytime chats. They're fun. I bet you'll enjoy them if you haven't seen them already. So, alright folks, let's get started. Kick back and relax, put your feet up, pretend you are sitting by a fire, and I am an old man telling tales of my past. So, I'm going to talk about today my fears, my phobias, and specifically I want to dictate this entire episode to one specific fear that's been a really big impact on my life. I think, pun intended, I am deeply afraid of the ocean. And you may be asking yourself, well, how does this even really affect your life? What are you Aquaman? Do you live in the sea? Are you how could one do you live under a pier by the shore, by the seashore, by Sally by the seashore? No. I mean, I live sort of on the coast, but nowhere near any really, any oceans particularly. But it's really strange. Whenever I try to pinpoint what exactly made me afraid of the ocean, you try to look back to things when you're younger, or maybe fears that your parents had, perhaps, that they transferred to you. And I don't really think that's the case for this. It's taken me years to try to figure out what exactly makes me so afraid of the damn ocean. I mean, most people are absolutely perplexed by it. They think it is a beautiful thing. It's just scary as hell. So when I was younger, my parents were the kind of parents that let me watch pretty much anything for the most part. I don't think it really was a bad thing for me. I understand if some parents don't let their kids watch certain things. That's totally up to them. It's whatever. It's preference. So, but for me, I think that was part of the reason why I got into horror movies and the genre just in general so much. Because when I was younger, I remember watching some of my first horror movies, like Friday the 13th, and, Nightmare on Elm Street and all that stuff. And though I was absolutely scared as shit, it was so cool. I don't know, there's just something about it that just captured my imagination in such a fantastical way. It was just, I don't know. Ever since then, that's what's got me into horror games and every aspect of horror. I mean, I would probably attribute it to when I was younger being able to watch those things. So, as I said, there's a few things that really scared me. I mean, there's either like the really gory stuff or the really scary stuff that would get to me because I was so young. And one of the things that I feel like scarred the shit out of me when I was younger for some strange reason was Jaws. I had seen Jaws. I think I didn't even want to watch it, I don't think. I think my dad was watching it or something on the couch, and I just walked in and I saw it, and I saw that he was enjoying it, but so I kind of took that for granted and started watching myself a little bit. And I just remember the absolute utmost fear of just an animal in specific. So as I grew older, I kind of had this love-hate relationship with the ocean. On one hand, I was absolutely deeply afraid of it, and I absolutely hated it. I still hate it. It's the worst thing ever. And then on the other hand, I grew to be so fascinated by it. There's just so much to it, So throughout the years, my fear of sharks became a fascination for sharks. And then from sharks, I went to, mythical sea creatures like the Kraken and all that kind of stuff, and giant squid, all those sort of things. And then then I started learning more scientific stuff about it, like the Marianas Trench and the deep abyss, and just the fact that we don't know jack shit about the ocean. So even now as an adult, it's gotten worse, and it's gotten to the point where I've avoided my fear so much and haven't challenged it that it's basically spread into anything that's not a pool. And even sometimes I get a little anxious in a pool. So it's just, over the years, it's just gotten worse and worse. And it's it's it really sucks because you think that, oh yeah, naturally, unless you live on the coast, you probably don't experience having to deal with this issue very much. But if you think about it, it almost kind of makes it a little bit more difficult because the only time that I experience this fear is when, you know, I'm about to have a good time, I'm about to go on a vacation with some friends or family, or friends of the family, or family that are also friends. And that's a time where you finally get to relax after working hard at school or at work or whatever it is, and you get like a week or two off to purely just have some fun and relax and kick back. And then for me, half the time I would end up in some sort of situation where I'd have to go in the water, whether it was a lake. Most of the time there would at least be a lake, and sometimes I'd be, at the ocean. And socially, it's super, super uncomfortable when people are like, "Oh, hey, let's go for a swim at the beach. Oh, hey, let's go have a swim in the ocean since we're here." It was Florida, Martha's Vineyard, that kind of thing, those kind of beaches. So it kind of puts you in like an uncomfortable position because your friends, whoever brought you on vacation, they're like, "Oh, let's go in the water, let's go splash around and stuff." And then in your mind, mentally, you're just like, "No, I don't want to go in the water. A giant shark is going to pop out from the depths of the 3 foot of water. He's going to eat me in one swallow and then disappear back into the depths, and I will never be seen again." That's kind of how, like, that's just how the thought process works. It's absolutely irrational. The chances are so low, you're more likely to get struck by lightning. And funny enough, I will tell a story about that eventually. I have almost been struck by lightning also. Anyways, tangent. But it's irrational, it's ridiculous, the chances are so low, and also the fact that you have a bunch of people around you, you could easily, if in the necessary case, push them into the oncoming shark very easily. Still, knowing all of those things, you feel this insane anxiety and fear over something that you really don't need to worry about. What's even worse is I've developed a fear of the fear, some inception fear of my phobia, that I'm afraid that it's going to get worse and worse as I get older unless I really start to challenge it. Because, like I said, the only time we get to challenge it is really when I'm on vacation near like an ocean or a lake or something like that. So I don't get to challenge it very much, which I want to point out for those of you who do have phobias. In order to challenge and get over your phobias and fears, you have to, like I said, you have to challenge it. You have to face them, and you have to put yourself in a position where you have to deal with them. The avoidance for me is what has made it get worse over these years. So I have a fear that it's just going to get worse to the point where I can't even get in a pool without freaking out. So anyways, I hope you guys learned something new about me, and maybe you've thought about something new about yourself, perhaps, maybe. Again, let me know in the comments down below if maybe you share this specific fear or phobia or something similar, or really just tell me about whatever. Alright, that'll be the end of this storytime chat. I hope you guys enjoyed, because it was super, super weird for me to talk about. I don't know, there's just something so super personal about talking about your deepest fears. It's really weird. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, like, comment, share with your friends if you got them, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It really makes a big difference. Anyways, thank you tons for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye!